used to have to spend a lot of money like that. I get really nervous about that song. I stopped living in fear a long time ago. I'm sober today by the grace of God. And if anybody tells that I'm sober for any other reason, they're lying. I try to do my good to not drink, you know. And I'm here. I get all just scattered at first, right? First little while. If it's not in English, remind me. But you know,
we're non-judgmental over here, so
cool
down.
I don't believe you.
No, we're not.
So once I get going, you can't shut me off. So when it comes to 9 o'clock, I know and stop. Maybe I'll probably talk to myself on the way home. But I say I'm an alcoholic, and what do I mean by alcoholic? Well, somebody, you know, I think this guy is down in the park bench with a brown paper bag with a bottle in it and a trench coat, you know, and all that. Right? I was pretty happy because I never got that bad, you know. Bad enough to lose my family and my health, and you know, I never kept my job. You can't buy food and drugs in your own job. So it's a lot. And it's just deteriorating, it's getting worse and worse. And I could go on for the next 45 minutes telling you how horrible it was for me and tell you my war story, how bad it was. But we've all got our own story. We all have a different story. And if you're here, it's probably because something. There's no way I can scare you sober. I scare me more than anybody I ever met, and I don't scare you sober. I had to have a complete breakdown of Murray the way he was. And what do I mean by alcohol? Well, the book in here talks about a two-part illness. The doctor's opinion talks about physicality and it talks about an obsession with the mind. Now, I wandered for my life for years. People were saying, you're just like your dad. And they say, well, your dad's an alcoholic, right? Two separate statements in my mind. I can't figure out an alcoholic, this is what it was. But I didn't know what that was. And they define it for me. The book defines it very simply. It says, if, when I really want to, I find I can't stop, and once I start, I can't guarantee how much I'm going to drink. Right? Lots of choice and a lots of quantity. I said, geez, that sounds familiar. And I talked about an allergy and the doctor's opinion. Well, I've got allergies to other things. I'm allergic to cats. Has anybody got an allergy to anything else? What are you allergic to?
I'm allergic to cats.
Cats? Yeah? Cool. What happens when you're allergic, when you get around a cat? What happens to you?
Runny eyes, runny nose, if they scratch me, I break out my eyes.
Exactly. I know he's just like me. He's allergic to cats. But that's exactly what happens to me when I get it, right? So we have a common thing wrong with us. When we get around cats, you have an abnormal reaction. So I'm allergic to something. Okay? So I'm allergic to cats. That's my reaction. My reaction to alcohol is I want more. Right? That's my reaction. I can get up in the morning. There's only 2 beers in the fridge. It's Sunday morning. Just knock them off. Go about my day. Right? It doesn't usually happen like that. You know? I end up in a Visa card out at the restaurant vendor when the beer store wasn't open on Sundays. You know, you had to figure that out, go to the restaurant. And that's crazy. Isn't that insane? Yeah. So, I'm allergic to cats, but I never once sat in my chair at home, armchair, saying to myself, I'm not going to the pet store. I'm not going to go to the pet store. It's those black cats I've been hanging around with. I'm not going near any black cats. In fact, Siamese cats are trouble too. I'm not going to Siamese cats. And wait till 5 to 6 when I knew the pet store was almost closed, and then still say, fuck it, jump in the car, drive to the pet store, get a black cat, rub it on my face, and go to bed. I've never done that with cats. How many times did I do that with beer? Right? How many times did I do that with whiskey? How many times did I pour myself out or whatever? I don't do it. Right? So I'm different. I have an abnormal reaction, and I have something wrong with my brain. I have a mental obsession. I don't know if anybody else knows what an obsession is. But if alcohol was my only obsession, it'd be a pretty good day, right? My brain says, oh, you're not going to drink? Cool. Come over here, get some weed, you know. You're not going to smoke that? Come over here. You know, adrenaline is a big thing, you know. And I could be guilty of taking drugs right now because I'm so fucking high on adrenaline because you guys scared me that, you know. That's how bad it can get if you're an addict of my kind, if you've got that mental obsession. The thing with alcohol happens, I'll leave here, I'll wind down, it'll be okay, I probably won't go I will probably look for adrenaline for a while because it's not I don't have an abnormal reaction to alcohol. And I started that first beer Sunday morning, and I want more by Sunday afternoon, and by Sunday night, I'm thirstier than I was when I had that first beer this morning. I want more, because I don't metabolize alcohol like other people. mind does. So, usually we're up here sharing our experience, strengths, and hope, but you guys are all presumably, anybody here been in AA before and now you come back? And you don't have to tell me what you are, right? And is there any like straight up alcoholism when not do drugs? No, right? Just about everybody's a mixed up addict, but this book talks about alcohol. I'm going to stay there because we can use it as an example for just about anything. So, where did I go? I'm caught. That's the first one. I'm screwed, right? I can't stay sober because my mind says it's okay. Have another drink. It's better than the way you do it right now. And then my body says, oh, that stuff. Yeah, I remember that. I like that. I want more. Right? And then, all you want to do is quit. And then, thoughts of suicide. In my case, I did a geographic cure. I met a really good woman, married me, and I still don't know why. I've been with her 26 years. She left me twice, and I followed her both times. And it's got well enough to her to let me back in, and I did what I did, and just went on a downward slide like this until it's painful, right? You hit bottom, anybody hit bottom, you're probably here. Maybe like you can. And I know I thought I had a few times, but there was a point when I said, I'd rather be dead than be alive. And I try to be an honest person, and I said, this is true. This is true. I can't win at this game, and I don't want to live. So I started, my wife was up here in Muskoka, I was living in London, back and forth every 2 weeks. I knew I needed ball joints in my car and tie rod ends and that. And it's an 8-year drive from London to Huntsville. So I start 11 o'clock at night, start driving. Fast as I could, as much as I could, hoping the wheels would fall off. You know why? Because I didn't have the balls to kill myself. Right? And so not only am I desperate, and I want to die, I'm chicken shit, I can't kill myself, right? So I have a very high opinion of myself. So, it finally happened, I walked down Main Street. My wife's 8 months pregnant. She doesn't want to talk to me. I'm in, I'm done, right? I walk down Main Street and I say, God, and I really meant it. When there's nothing else to do, I pray. I don't want anyone else. No atheist at a foxhole. And I went down Main Street and said, God, I can't do this. I'm sorry if this is what you want me to do, but either let me die or let me get better. And I didn't die, and things started to change. I had to have that complete step one experience of nowhere else to go. And if anybody here is going anywhere else to go there first, and then when you're done, come on back, right? Because this is only the place for the last stop. Hey, I don't know what to teach you here, and I don't know about anything else. But this book deals with people at the very bottom. And if you're not there, you have to be patient. There's time, right? You've got time to get there. So I had a step one experience. Set a powerless over alcohol. My life's unmanageable. So all these physical 3D things were wrong. It was pretty obvious when I got in the door. There's something wrong with me. And my life's unmanageable. I can go along with that if you let me stay here, right? If you let me communicate. Because nobody else wanted me around. Step two, came to believe, right? I had beliefs before, but I didn't have beliefs that this God thing. I was brought up in a normal way. I thought Anglican church, and Sunday church, Sunday school, and came back. It was all cool. That didn't seem to do anything for me. It was an old tradition. It never really, and never did nothing for me. But was I willing to believe that power could help me or die? That's the rest of it, right? Do I want to believe this power can help me or die? It's like there's this. Isn't that 12:12 talks about a belief in parachutes, right? It doesn't believe you have to believe in God. Let's say, for instance, I need to have a belief in parachutes, and we're flying in a plane, we're going from here to England, right? And the plane's going down, and I don't believe in parachutes. And the pilot comes on and says, put the parachute on, the plane's going down. Look out for the parachutes, right? People are standing up, shuffling the door and jumping out with parachutes on. The pilot's going, here you go, you might as well take it with you, right? It's like, okay, and you go out, and I still don't believe in parachutes, but as long as I'm on my way down, maybe I should just see what happens, right? And it's the same with step two. I had nowhere else to go. So I said, fuck it, let these people say it's going to be better, I'll try it, right? And I had a step two experience. It says, the genius of this program for me is the part, if you got into Bill's story in the big book where he goes into he has a visitor, right? He comes and visits him and says, Bill, I got religion. And Bill's like, oh, no. Don't sell that crap to me. You're wasting your time with me. And then he's saying, you don't like my conception of God. Why don't you choose your own conception of God? And right there is when they had me personally. They had me because I saw people believing in this God, and I saw people believing in that God, and I saw people believing in the door God and medication and all kinds of shit. And they were all just as messed up as me. Why would I believe in it? But as soon as I could believe in my experience and my life and this power that, despite all my best efforts to die, by the time I was 35, I was still alive and looking for help. Like, what the hell? What's that, right? And I grew up around here. You look outside, you watch the sun come up, you go hug a tree. You know, you gotta believe in stuff bigger than you. Lots of things are bigger than you. So it wasn't hard to find one. And then in AA, between you and me, any belief beyond that, any description of that belief is irrelevant to me. You have a power that's going to help you get better? Oh, we're done. Next step. Step 3. You know, people want to debate step 2. Is there a God? Is there not a God? Who cares? You want to live? Follow me. In step 11, we get into that. I'll come back to step 11. We'll get back into what the higher power is. Step 3, I have to make a decision to turn my will and my life over to the care of God. Right? So there's 3 frogs sitting on a log in the swamp, right? One of them makes a decision to jump in the water. How many frogs are still sitting there? 3. 3. Because he's made a decision. He hasn't done nothing. He's made a decision. He doesn't do it. Do I think that this God that I agree that I believe in, through my own definition, can help me? Sure. It's like a contracting principle. It's an agreement in principle, like when you're negotiating with a hockey player or whatever, you know, can we agree on maybe that much? You know, and that's it. I've made my agreement in principle. And it says, am I willing to turn my will and my life over to the care of God? So then I can stop worrying about that. He's got it, right? Things are screwed up. Are you blaming the higher power? That's the first thing I thought of, though. I had another scapegoat. Someone else will blame that. It's a disease of self, right? People tell you, oh, it's alcohol, it's crap, it's drugs. Bullshit. It's me. I'm the problem. It's the disease of self. As soon as I get out of my way, my life was great. Notice how I stopped shaking and started talking? I'm out of the way, man. Just like God's love. This higher power says, get up there and see what you can do. Step 3, I made a decision. I've turned my will and my life over to care of God, so I can stop worrying. Right? You can pray, you can worry. There's no need to do both. Right? So, I've got an agreement in principle. It's time to go to work. Step 4. Anybody heard about step 4 ever? Yeah. How great it was? Ooh, I loved it. Bullshit. People want to make step 4 your life story. It's not. Instructions are in the book. If you don't know where, come and see me after. I can show you through this. There's study groups all over the province, all over. If you find some people that study the big book, they can take you through this and show you what step 4 is. It's an inventory. Okay? So if you're at Walmart and you're doing your inventory, you're not describing the subject and how it makes you feel. And, you know, the stereo's over here, and you don't talk about that. You just beep, yes, we got 14 stereos. Beep, you know, and oh, this one's broken, so we throw that one out. Right? That's what I'm looking for. I'm going through my life. I'm looking for facts. I'm a liar. I'm a thief. I'm a nice guy, but I like to gossip. You know, like all these things. I get this shit off my plate. Now, a lot of misconceptions about before step 2 is you have to go back and go back and go back and go back. Well, maybe you do, right? What we're doing in AA, in my opinion, is like, remember MASH? You know that show MASH, or the frontline army hospital? You guys doing the MASH, right? You've been shot, you're not dead, we got to see what we can help you or not, right? What are they doing in a MASH? We do triage. This guy's dead anyway. This guy we can help, and this guy's going to be okay, he can wait a while, right? People that don't make it here, I never see them. You guys are here, maybe I can help you, right? People that come in, never come to the treatment center, they got their own paths, right? So, step 4 is taking the inventory. I don't need to go in depth. I need to get the first aid done so the bleeding stops and so I'm alive. So I can stay alive and see what else is wrong with me. So, he talks about people, places, and things. Who are the people I'm afraid of? Who are the people I'm mad at? And who are the people I love? So I start, and it's a list of names, isn't it? Doesn't that sound like a list of names? My mom, my dad, I always put God at the top of the list. I'm on there, right? All these people that I've harmed, that I'm afraid of, that I'm, you know, so on. Then there's places, you know, like the bar, like the whatever, you know. Then there's things like the government of Ontario, the OPP. You not hate them, right? Yeah. And if that's still hanging over my head, I'm saying I'm drinking my problem, right? So I deal with the biggest things first, knowing full well the book tells us more will be revealed. But damn it, don't hang around here for 3 years saying I'm on step 3. Don't, you'll die. Okay? I've seen it. It's been with me. Okay? Step 4, inventory. When you're running out, you're done. If more come up later, that's a different step 4. Step 5 talks about admitted before God and themselves and the human beings that we were wrong. So you sit down with someone else, and that is critical. Why? I don't know. It's something about me talking to you. I can stand here in an empty room and tell the same story, but it's something about another person there that makes me, I don't know, accountable or maybe less likely to give bullshit, right? And the higher power depends on your definition of your language. So I find out what's wrong with me. I say it out loud, and there's something about admitting it, and writing it down, and telling them to reinforce it. This is not magic. This is like neuroscience. They didn't know when they wrote it, but that's what it is, right? Get your brain to think there. Step 5. Step 6. See, that's kind of a murky step up till now. You're like, oh, I don't want to die. Yeah, okay. Contract, okay. Make list, okay. Give it away, fine. Now what do I do in step 6? It's when I got to become entirely ready to get rid of this stuff. I come in step 4 and 5. And it's not really a process. It's just like you review your 5th step, you review your 6th step, or 5th and 4th. Right? It's a review step. The neat thing about that is that's when I started to realize, holy shit, I've done the most embarrassing thing I said I was going to do, right? And I've done it, and now I'm still okay, and I start to feel pretty good. I start to appreciate that feeling. Step 7 is another prayer. It's a lot like step 3. It's an agreement. It says, I found out what's wrong with me. It's on step 7. It's an important instance. 7? Anyway, it says, here's what's wrong with me to my higher power. This is what I found out. Would you please take it all? And he said, I can get better. So I've asked for help. In step 8, I got to make a list for my step 5 of the people I harmed. Now, if you scare me, I don't owe you an apology. And if I hate you, I don't know if I apology, but if I stole money or, beat you up or got, whatever, then I'm a man.
If I stole drugs, sorry.
Pardon me?
Never mind.
If you spill drugs,
Keep going,
put
sorry.
yourself at the top of the list.
Sorry.
It's just a list. Step 8 is another list, a lot like step 4. I've got my step 8 from step 4. Who are the people I hurt? I don't care what scares me. I don't care what that. Who did I hurt? So this is my step 8. Right? This is who I want to mention. And you look at that list and say, oh, God, screwed me, or this one. I'm not making amends. No, not him. No, that guy's probably going to beat me up. Like, you've got to kind of go through the step 8 and say, I suggest people that I'm willing to make amends to now. Like, I got a parking ticket. I'll go pay it. Right? It's not that bad. And, and if you do a few of those, a few of these amends, then maybe the ones that you look at, you say, no, I ain't talking to that guy. That might not seem so bad, right? And we work our way up to the ones that we never thought we would make. And then there's the ones that, no, I will never make an amend to whoever, grandma, dad, whatever. And I suggest that you start with the easy ones and work with the hard ones. Let God lead you, the higher power lead you. It happens. This is where it got creepy for me. Until now, I was just doing the work that they told me. But then people I elementary started showing up, right? Like just popping up. And I just had to have the nerve involved and say, look, can we talk? And have a talk. And most of the time, I don't think I had a single one where they slapped me or anything like that. I'm bad. My biggest one was financial. I had to do bankruptcy in 7 years with no credit on it. That was the worst one. And my family, who I, neglect and abuse through being fucked all the time and not there or whatever. That's a living amend, and that's basically every day. If I'm a better person than I was yesterday, that's an amend to my children too, right? They don't have to see me the way I was. So where was that? Step 9, you make amends. Okay, so this is where step 10. So by 1 to 9, I've recovered from alcohol. I've done the work that the book tells me will work. It guarantees me I'll get better. I'll have a spiritual experience in this higher power will make it so I don't have to drink it. It's a design for living. It really works. Step 10, it says continue to take personal inventory. So now I'm basically doing like a little mini 1 through 9 every day. At night when I go to bed, just before bed, it's a little quiet time. I use some time. How did that go? Kind of go through the day. Oh, geez, I was kind of rude with him, or I made that guy wait, or kick the dog. I don't know. You kind of go through it and you see it's a daily inventory. It's very helpful. And if I start to see the same things on my inventory over and over again, maybe it's time to start looking at the report. So it's kind of an indicator. It's kind of a gauge. And step 11 is where it gets, like I said, reminding. Step 2, we just have to have concept of the power grid. So step 11 tells me through having had a spiritual experience, we start to improve our conscious contact with the power greater than myself. Because I need more of whatever it is that's keeping me sober today. Because this disease progresses. Whether I drink or I don't drink, I get sicker every day. I get older every day. I mean, I'm not able to do physically the stuff I was able to do. So I need more help than I did when I started drinking, not less. So I seek, I'm a curious person and I read all kinds of stuff, right? But at the end of the day, it comes down to this. My sponsor told me, anything I do as well as 12 steps, cool, groovy. But anything I do instead of the 12 steps, instead of the design for it, becomes my higher power. It's a risk that I'll end up following now. So that's my own motivation. So I always want to slow down. I always want to take longer. I always feel like I've got more time to do. Step 12 is what I'm doing right now. I come and it's just having had a spiritual experience with all these steps, we try to get the message. The important thing for me, members, I try. I'm here, I'm doing my part. You guys get better? Cool. I'm happy. I hope you do, everyone. You know? But if you don't, I can't let that hit me. Right? I have to come here because the book says in order for me to keep what I got to give it away. And I took that very seriously because I was pretty sick. I don't want to go back there. I mean, I don't know. They all say, oh, I don't know if I have another recovery. That I probably do, but it's been so painful, you know? It's been a long time. Well, I can tell some more stories. I took the 20 questions on how do you know you're an alcoholic. Can you see that pamphlet? I got 20 out of 20. I come up with 2 questions that they didn't even have on. If you have a sunburn in the roof of your mouth, there's one. It's been run over by your own car. No, so I guess that's the steps. Today, the things that are different today is you hear a lot about the steps. Do the steps, do the steps, do the steps, right? Okay. Say you want directions to my house and I want to send you upstairs to bed. You want to go, how do I get there? Use the steps. From here, use the steps and go to my house and get whatever. No, you have to know where you're going. You have to get a map. You have to go to where the steps are. You have to find out where the steps are. You have to find out how to use the steps. What do I do on the steps? It's not like it's just automatic. It's the most automatic things that are happening. I'm starting to rely on power greater than myself instead on me. But it does come with practice over time. The recovery can happen like that. I'm telling you. When people go on here, people get offended. If I offend you, I'm sorry. I won't be back. But it can happen like that. This higher power says you'll be fine. Then you are. I mean, you just have to do the work. Now, can that go away? Sure, it can go away. If I could, there's no power in the world to stop me from drinking, but it's that urge that it's removed. It gets removed from me. I don't go around not drinking. Like I did that a couple times, right? I got off the alcohol, got to do something right. I went back, I'm out of money. Anyway, so I get straight. Like I wouldn't drink, right? And if you ask me what I was doing, I'd say I'm not drinking. But that's my mission in life. What are you doing today? I'm not fishing. You say I'm going fishing. You say I'm going to, work or whatever. Well, I'm not drinking. And I'll be not drinking tomorrow. And why aren't you proud of me? Because I'm not drinking. I'm miserable. I'm stark raving sober. But you guys don't appreciate me. Blah, blah, blah. And away we go together, right? So that has to be gone. It has to be crushed. The thing about this compulsion drink is it can come back, but now I have tools to deal with it. I'm just repeating myself. Anybody got anything they want to?
Thank you for speaking. I thought you were a great speaker, so. But I just wanted to know a couple of questions. It's kind of a generic question, but I don't think I heard how long you've been in recovery.
I had my first meeting the 21st of March, 1997.
And the second part of that I wanted to ask was, I don't know how you worded it, but I've heard it said before about being sober versus not being thirsty. And I think that's what you were just talking about. But how long did it take you in relation to getting clean or starting to use steps before that urge went away?
I got this book handed to me when I was 35, and I figured out I had it at the library when I was 18, right? Like anyone was shit early on. Is that what you mean? Like how long did it take?
No.
Once I started?
Like once you went into recovery, how long did it take for the constant urges to go away or for the thirst to go away?
Pretty quick. I I got that first date thing I was talking about. I've never had a drink since. I've been lucky. A lot of people, whatever, it comes back, right? But I did the steps early on. I did the work that I was given early on, and I got to a point. And then that went for about 4 years, and I kept waiting for, is that it? You know, like, going to AA is the biggest thing I ever did in my whole life. I'm here, you know, tell me what to do. I'm ready to change everything. And people would say, keep doing that. Works if you work it, but they wouldn't tell me what I was supposed to work to make it work, right? I'm here to tell you that not everybody in these rooms can be your friend, eh? Like, anybody can walk into an AA room and say, oh, I'm an alcoholic, or I like the coffee, or maybe I'll go with some of the girls. There's nothing to stop that from happening. Maybe not everybody here is an alcoholic of my type that can't stop when they want to and they can't get home with the drink. Right? I suggest you find somebody that walks in carrying a big book and says they've had that spiritual experience. And if they don't say that, okay, you know, hope they do. And find somebody who does. They're like, don't throw it away. Right? There's a lot of people in meetings that say, I've been coming here for 35 years and I've been sitting in that chair and God help me if you sit there and I haven't understood the part of that. And, you know, I said, man, I don't want to die. Show me how to stay alive. And I did that. And then about 4 years in, it started to creep back in, and a guy was put in front of me. He took me through this book. I didn't talk at all about books, did I? He took me through this book along the line. But this is the book that we got. Word by word, line by line. And now that's part of my step 12 through it. I sit down with people, I take them through the book. Because if I was interested in brain surgery, and I got on the internet and I Googled brain surgery, I get some information about brain surgery, right? Wikipedia, all that good shit, right? And I know some stuff about brain surgery, and I go, man, I don't know about this. I'll sign up to go to Western or wherever they teach medicine, right? And I'll learn about the body, and I'll learn something. I'll go to all the lectures, and you know, and I'll learn more, and I'll know more. But if I go to the lab and the doctor takes me in, and I get to work on the body, then I know more about it, right? And if I pay a tutor to sit down with me face to face and go over the shit I don't understand, I'm probably going to do better than if I just Googled it, right? So that's what I did. I sit down, and this represents somewhere between 30 and 40 hours of one-to-one, you know, going through it, understanding how I'm powerless, understanding what it talks about. Because I don't want to die. I hate keep coming back at it. If I'm talking to you about it, you accept not dying from this illness, I'm just wasting your time. I'm pulling your chain. I didn't come here to hear about your whippersnapper. I don't want to know about your babysitter. I want to know how much died from this shit. What did you do? Where did you run into trouble? Right? I forget the question.
Like I've been clean for like 8 months before, and like without booze, marijuana, everything. But it just felt like there was something I'm missing. You know what I mean? Like an empty hole in my heart. And it's just like, fuck.
That's that spiritual.
Call me back, you know what I mean? And after an 8-month period, I was just like, fuck this. You know, I'm just gonna have a beer. And then some beer, like the joints, back to heroin, you know what I mean? So,
activate theology.
sorry, I don't even mean drugs up with an alcoholic, you know what I mean? But it's just like, it's a disease, right? Like,
yeah. Well, now let me ask you though. You go to meetings, right?
I started off going to meetings. Like I would go to like 5 a week when I first started out, right?
It is sponsored.
I didn't get a sponsor to do so. No. Didn't move me exactly.
No, dude, I sit with people every day and I've been in that same spot, right?
Like I would pick and choose things from it. You know what I mean? You can't do that. You gotta do it all, right?
It says at the start of this book, this volume shows you precisely how to recover. It doesn't say in the general area you can pick and choose, take what you want, leave the rest. It doesn't say that. It says precisely recovered. And it says recovered from seeing emotions.
It's just,
yeah, I know what I mean.
a lot of this stuff is really depressing to me, though. I think there's good stories in it and that, but it's like constantly reminding myself that I'm fucked. You know, like, I don't like that.
You're fucked.
I don't like that shit, though, man. I want to move past this.
I want to be taller, and I wish I had blue eyes, but
Yeah,
it's a curse.
It is.
So you mentioned you're making amends with your wife and stuff. I kind of ruined the first 7 years of our marriage. And, yeah, I'm having a hard time with it still. And I know it's still fresh or whatever, but you know the days are good and her days are bad. And,
You just got to trust the process. Talk about it. I know, you hate that answer, I hate that answer. But you know what, if I got any other answers, that's me, that's self talking. You know what the problem is? Self's the problem. It all happens. Like, I don't want to define a higher power for you, but my sponsor said to me, you know, God loves you, these guys. He pushed me, why would you talk to that? I mean, you just got to stop doing it my way. You know, I got a good plan, I followed the plan for 35 years, and 35 years worth of my plan put me right in the position I'm in at AA meeting. Right? No, we got to go a different way. And now I never know where I'm going to be. 2 weeks ago, I thought I was going to do whatever, and I'm up here, right? And I can't wait to come. I got it. Thanks.
I have a question. I just wanted to know, how many meetings do you go to now after like almost 20 years?
A lot less than I used to. When I first started, I was 7 meetings a week, every day. I got sober in London, right? So you could go 10:30 meeting, 2 o'clock meeting, 8 o'clock meeting if you want. I worked at night, so I worked, you know. And on weekends, 3 a day. Up here, 1 a day for probably years. But like I said, I hit that 4-year span. I hit the book, and then I can
Like 3
I
weeks?
can tell you that how many I need gets to be less. Yeah, whatever. Look at how.
No, I know, I understand.
If you're not sure, a meeting's good. I need to charge you. A meeting's good.
Well, I know 90, they say 90 and 90. I was just wondering, like, when you could slow down, when you don't have to go to, like, you know, you hear about those people that, like, they're addicted to meetings. Like, I know someone that's addicted to recovery. Like, that's all what their life is.
Fellowship will not keep me sober. You people will let me down every fucking time. And you know what? You die, too. And you go back out and drink. I can't rely on human power. It says no human power to forgive myself. I'm honest. And the sober, don't look at me. I'm not here to help you. I'm here to show you what the message is. It's right here. You want to know where? I'll take my finger and I'll point to it. But it ain't me. I'll never tell you what to do. I'll never accept get away from you.
Is that kind of like what Al-Anon's about too? Because like Al-Anon's, like I have my mom.
Yeah.
I'm like her alcohol. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she thinks.
It's the same program for different folks.
Yeah.
It ought to be. Again, the fellowship can let you down, but I mean, this book is called Alcoholics Anonymous. They named the fellowship after the book Alcoholics Anonymous. That suggested that Jesus was right. I go to a hockey game and expect to see volleyball, right? I come to a fucking hockey game. Yeah? So I don't come here listening. I don't want to hear people go like I listen to it, but after a while, it wears me out. Right?
I just wanted to congratulate you for your speech tonight. I really enjoyed your analogies, and you really brought a new light to the whole meeting. You know, it was a good meeting, and I just wanted to thank you for that. So.
I agree, it's Ryan.
Yeah.